So, quick status update on our Project EF here, the revival of this car. So you guys can see where I'm at here real quick. We're not gonna take too much time on this. Pretty easy to tell where I'm at. I need to go ahead and rip everything off of the firewall and just stop being a chicken and just finish tearing it apart. Like, this is just a massive delay, clearly keeping me from finishing priming the bay. We have some danger zones, for the EF where you have to clearance for the alternator and stuff like that need to be prepped, sanded, primed, painted. So yeah, it's not hard to tell what's going on here. I've primed basically up until the danger zone of where I need to get everything out. Cross member is still in the car. I'm debating whether or not I want to remove the cross member. It's clean now. From the last time you guys saw it, it wasn't super clean, had a lot of grease and stuff on it still. But I actually got in here and started cleaning up. Like I said, the biggest lessons from some of my favorite friends' builds, and the lessons that they kind of told me was just get in and start cleaning first. Just clean and clean first. So we've continued to disassemble the car. The car is a 90, so it's 35 years old. As you start tearing the car apart, you start to discover more and more stuff that's wrong. So ball joints are kind of hammered. We want to be safe on the road, you know what I'm saying? So I've got the coilovers off, got the brakes off, as you guys can see here. Got some little miscellaneous fab parts that we kind of had to make happen to do the half radiator. That's like the new bottom bracket for the half size radiator, so we could fit everything in the bay. I probably should sand and paint that. I've still got to get the camber kits yanked off and pull the hubs. This one here, I don't know if it translates in the camera, but this one here, this wheel bearing here is cooked. We slide over to this side. We're pretty much in the same spot. Just got to remove the brakes on this side, and then I'll probably pop up in here and repaint the undercoating here, and then bring red paint out to this primed area as well. So I don't think I'm going to be one of the people that runs just paint in the wheel wells, because I do intend to drive the car fairly often on the streets and in the weather. So we'll keep some undercoating underneath it. The project at hand today, it's a lot of projects, as you guys can see. But the main project at hand today is the YS1 transmission that goes to the EF that we're just checking out the bay. And we're going to drag this outside, and today is the day that I will take the second run at cleaning this thing out, now that it's been peeled off of the short block or the long block for the car. So I'm gonna get this outside. I'm gonna hit it with a few cleaning materials and let it kind of start doing its thing, and we'll just take the ride in the process of kind of restoring this transmission to look more like our all-wheel drive wagon transmission over here. Don't worry, that mount is gonna be replaced. But yeah, we're gonna go from this to this, just like the last episode. So it's funny what's going on the channel here. We're just doing a lot of maintenance, not a lot of high horsepower stuff just yet, but we're just cleaning stuff and restoring things. And right now the theme is transmissions. It's the transmission cleanup channel. So we hope you guys enjoy, okay? We're gonna make this one look good too. And then after that, we'll probably slide over here and clean up this B16 long block a little bit more. Oh, I gotta order some mounts. We need some Hotsport B16 EF cable transmission mounts. So that's gotta happen soon too. But Oh yeah, make sure you guys go and purchase your Acme products too. Like for real, don't forget. Let's get to it. Time to get active. Okay, we've got a lot of time on our hands right here. Not a lot of money, but that's usually how things go with cars. You got a lot of time, no money, or a lot of money, no time to work on the things. So right now we got time, and we're gonna do as many things as we can do within the backyard budget. All right, so let me see if I can get this thing outside. As you guys can see, we're wearing our OSHA approved slides in here, so let's hope nothing gets crazy while we're trying to move this around. So these are the products that I'm gonna use. This is just what I happen to have, okay? I'm not saying that this stuff is the best, but this is just what I happen to have from my last AutoZone or O'Reilly's run. Okay, so I'm gonna use some of this gunk engine cleaner and degreaser, okay? And I've got a giant, you know, like 2 or 3 gallon jug of this Purple Power. So I'm gonna use Purple Power. Like I said, I'm not saying it's the best, but it's what I have and I'm gonna use it. Then the last product is some gum out parts cleaner. It's kind of like a carb cleaner or a brake clean. It's pretty much on its way out, so I'm just gonna use the rest of it on some of the more aggressive stuff. Like I said, I'm not co-signing this product. Hey, more than welcome to sponsor me any of these products, but this is just what we have in the garage, and sometimes it's kind of like what hot rodding's all about is just using what you have and making the best of it. So we're gonna get this thing clean one way or another. So here you go, you can see the dirty transmission. Main focus is gonna be in this intersection of the housing. And I'll be honest with you guys, based off of the evidence that I'm seeing in here, I'm gonna make sure that we inspect the rear main seal on the long block inside to make sure that there's nothing funky going on, because it's actually kind of a lot of oil, but this has been in the car for many, many years, so could be a combination of things. Also, I had a VTEC solenoid leak, where it was leaking on the back side of the VTEC, so maybe one of the oil seals wasn't working properly or wasn't installed properly and it was leaking. So maybe this is where some of that oil was traveling as well and dripping out, okay? So we're gonna pay attention to mess and dirt because it's there for a reason. It's not by accident, you know, something is getting in here and grabbing grime and dirt. So we wanna address that, okay? This is the last look at it before we start cleaning, okay, guys? And what I'm gonna do first is, we're not even gonna like attack this too aggressively. We're just gonna hit it with some stuff and kind of see if we can get it to just start breaking loose, okay? So we're gonna start with the engine degreaser, okay? We're just gonna, you know, start generously applying this to all these dirty areas we can spot, okay? And it's not gonna be perfect the first time. You're gonna have to do a couple rounds, all right? I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of wet up this section a little bit. Eventually we'll have to flip it over. Okay. This transmission has been painted before. Unfortunately, the guy that painted it, we won't say his name. He might even be behind the camera for all we know. So the last time you guys saw the ZC, it had a valve cover on it that was okay. You know, it could have passed for a little bit longer, but it wasn't perfect. The wrinkle paint on it just didn't really look that great. So I dragged it outside in between cleaning up the transmission. This is where we're at with the transmission now. Looking a little bit better in there. Looking much better over here. All right. Looking much better. Generally, okay? Still haven't gotten that damn pin out. I whacked at it for a while last night. Couldn't get it out. Got a couple tools out here. I might try to figure out a solution for it. But in the meantime, I use this product here, okay, and laid it on there. And this is where we're at right now with the valve cover strip job on that ZC valve cover. So let's see what happens. Let's see if it gets all of it off. It worked extremely fast. Oh wow, impressive. Oh wow. Very satisfying. I don't want to make too much of a mess, so I'm just gonna kind of let it do its thing. Might have to come back with a second coat. It's no big deal. You can see in there, it's like 3 coats of paint coming off. There's some wrinkled black, some red, and then another coat of wrinkled black. There's something hiding underneath there. So, very, very satisfying. Cool. I'll probably hit it with another coat and come back to it. But as you can see, the product works pretty well. Pretty darn good. It's just lifting it right off, dude. And not a lot of mess, which is great. Not a lot of mess at all. So cool. We're gonna keep at it, and I'll show you guys the finished product. Okay. Okay. So far, so good. We're getting there. We're getting there. Still got some little detail areas to kind of get into, little corners and crevices to work around in, but it's getting there. It'll be nice and clean soon. I'll show you guys the finished product when we're all done. Obviously, some of these things are not gonna be the fastest results. So today we're back. Got a little more time to dedicate to cleaning up this transmission. The exterior of the casing actually looks good. Like, all this looks pretty clean. I'm happy with this. I'm not mad at this at all. It's just this inside portion that we gotta get dialed in. You know, if I had a sandblaster or something like that, maybe I'd throw it in there and just blast it clean, but we're in the yard. We're in the yard. We're in the yard, and it's 100 degrees, so we're working what we have, and we're gonna make the best. So we're back in today with another product, O'Reilly's product. It's the foaming degreaser. The idea here is to get the foaming option to kind of sit on it and help it lift up off of some of these corners in here. That's the goal. You guys are gonna see if it works along with me. Okay, so here we go. Shake up this can. We're gonna get to spraying another coat of degreaser on this thing. Here we go. All right, it's pretty good coverage. All right, now we're just gonna let it kind of do its thing, all right? Come and check on it in about 10, 15 minutes. Maybe even hit it with a little rinse. But yeah, we'll probably blow this whole can on there. Make sure we get it right. Okay, here we are. Not too bad. Still got some little detail spots that we could get into and really geek out on getting this good and clean, but I'm not mad at it. I can come over here also and kind of do a little more, give it a little more love over here, but the focus point, which was here, that we wanted to really kind of get cleaned up, is looking pretty good, guys. Got the inside of the housing nice and clean. Again, we'll be able to track down any kind of leaks once we get the car running. But yeah, as you can see, it's looking pretty darn good. Looking mighty clean. I almost feel bad painting it, but I know how this is gonna go. So oil's gonna leak, coolant's gonna drip, grease is gonna stick, and it'll look the way it looked when we pulled it out again in no time. But so I'll paint it and clear it, give it a nice little aluminum finish. But man, does it look pretty good. A little elbow grease goes a long way, everybody. So I'm pretty hyped on it. This kind of was a hold up for a while, but sometimes you just gotta get after it, you know, just get busy and get started. And before you know it, you can be finished. So there's a little more I want to kind of clean up off of it. But we're looking really good. I'll keep you guys updated. When I do go to paint it, I'm not going to remove all the bolts. I'll probably mask a lot of stuff. Might remove the VSS. That's the easy one, right? But generally, I'm going to mask a lot of stuff and then, yeah, hit it with a little paint, a little clear. And yeah, this will be pretty much ready to go back in the car. We're back out in the yard. Did the last little cleaning pass on the bottom side of this thing. So I think we're in a good spot, you guys. I think we're in a good spot. I cleaned up this shift linkage that I just cannot get the freaking B pin out of. So I cleaned it up on the transmission. You know, you have no leverage on this table. So every time I whack this thing on this table, the table gives, you lose all your leverage. Bitch pin's not moving, or the B pin's not moving out. So I should have taken it out before I pulled this out of the car, but I was in a hurry. So whatever the case is, it's out, right? So I'm making the best of it. So what I'm gonna do is, as you can see here, shift linkage is in okay shape, right? Probably could come in here and clean a lot more, which I will. But I don't have anything to do while this is kind of drying, and I'm looking for any little last corners of dirt on here. So I have today I have this VHT roll cage and chassis paint. Okay, it's just high temp black, and we're gonna use it on that piece of shift linkage, and I'll dig the other one out of the garage, and we'll use it on that other piece of shift linkage as well. All right, so that'll be today's little small project before we get this over onto the cardboard over there, all masked up. We'll do our little cheap backyard job again, where we just mask up some of the hardware. I'll probably remove the VSS. I'll just tape up the harness over there, you know, easy, quick, right? Tape this up, remove this hardware, tape up that vent right there, and yeah, we'll get after it, okay? So I'll check in with you guys once we get some paint shook up and lay a coat down, okay? Give you guys a progress report. So we are off the table and down on the ground now, all masked up. You know, for the most part, the key areas. You know, got our harness covered up. Okay. Shift lever over here is, I put a little coat of paint just to test that black paint. It came out cool, so I bagged it, masked that. So we're pretty much ready to go for paint. You know, it's the details, guys. Like, I'm not gonna take the whole thing apart yet. You know, maybe I'll swap out all the bolts and hardware at some point. Yeah, there might be some little dirt still left over. You know, maybe I'll come through one more time. Just kind of clean up a couple more little pockets that I just happened to spot. But yeah, I'm not gonna take the whole thing apart, and this thing's gonna go for the most part. Transmission is under the car, covered with hoses and wire harness, and motor mount's gonna go there. So you don't see a lot of the transmission for the most part. You pretty much just see this like front edge over here if we're looking at it from like the engine bay side. Okay, but this will do. This will do. We're gonna put some paint, protective paint, help it hold up a little bit longer, and then yeah, clear it, and then we'll move on to the block maybe next or something like that. But first things first, we'll do this. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. This thing's ready for paint. I'm gonna go find a can of paint actually right now. Let's see what we got here. This is what I need. Okay, so we got one can of this. Then this is all we should need for the transmission. All right, it's VHT high temp. All right, let's get it. Shake this bad boy up. All right, and we'll put a coat on it. All right, let that set up. It's the first coat right there. Not mad at it. I'm pretty heavy. So we'll let that kind of bake in the sun for a few minutes. Made myself mad right there. There's that one bolt that I didn't freaking mask that I noticed. It's gonna piss me off a little bit, so I'm gonna have to pull that bolt out and replace it. But yeah, here's the first coat, you guys, okay? I'm gonna let it do its thing out here in the sun for a bit. And then, yeah, we'll come back. Maybe we'll put another little light coat on there, or maybe we'll go for clear, depending on the coverage. I probably need to rotate it and get the other side, like the edges of others, you know, like the bottom edge of this right here, which will be visible. So yeah, I might need another little light coat, but for now we're good, okay? We got the whole thing kind of covered. Okay. All right. Covered. So should be good. All right. Be back with another update.